Hi, this is Miss Fazone, and this is pre-calculus, graphing polynomials that are not factored. Okay, so don't be overwhelmed. We're only going to do two types of factoring problems that are not factored today. Okay, so let's start with this one. So you learned how to factor this last year in Algebra 2. This is a factor by grouping. Now, last year I taught it in a different way. I'm going to teach it differently this year because I want us, we're seniors, we're going to college. I want us to be a little more, high level. So what we're going to do is take the first two problems, x cubed minus 7x squared. You're just going to do a GCF. What goes into x cubed minus 7x squared? X squared. So if you divide by x squared, you get x squared, x minus 7. Okay? You're going to do the same thing for the second two. Negative 25x plus 175. Now, if the first number is negative, you're going to make it negative. What goes into both of those? Negative 25. So minus 25, minus 25. And you get minus 25, x minus 7. Okay? So now notice in both of these problems, you have an x minus 7. So we're going to actually factor out x minus 7. If you take the x minus 7 away, what are you left with? We're left with an x squared minus 25. Can you factor x squared minus 25? Yeah. That's x plus 5, x minus 5. And you just factored a polynomial. Now we're going to do everything we've been doing that we've been learning the last week, okay? So let's start with the roots. What are the roots of this polynomial? 7, x equals 7, switch the sign, negative 5, and 5. Okay? I'm going to plot those on a graph. I'm going to draw myself a grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right? So I have 7, negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So now I need to find my points of extrema. Right? How many am I going to have? I've got 2 points next to each other here and 2 here. I'm going to have 2 points of extrema. Right? So remember, you have to find the midpoint of these two. So we have negative 5 and 5. What's the midpoint of negative 5 and 5? That should be easy. Negative 5 plus 5 divided by 2. 0 over 2 is 0. Okay. So you get 0 for one of them. And then what's the midpoint of 5 and 7? Again, that should be easy. It's just 6. Right? We're going to plug in to get our y values. Plug in to get our y values. Now, you can plug into the factored, or you can plug into the original, whichever makes you more comfortable. So if you look at, when you plug 0 in, what do you get? 0, 0, 0, 175. So that one's super easy. I know it's 175. Now, if 0 is 175, what should my 6 be? Positive or negative? When I plug in 6, I should get a negative number. And that's one thing you want to keep in mind when you're trying these, just to make sure your numbers are right. They should be opposite signs. Let me find a calculator that has batteries that are actually working. Okay, so I'm going to plug. This one doesn't work either. Oh, sorry, I'm a disaster at the moment. Welcome to my life. Okay. So I'm going to plug 6 in. I'm going to do the original just because. So I have to plug 6 in. 6 to the third minus 7 times 6 squared minus 25 times 6 plus 175. Let's see what we get. Negative 11. Negative 11. Okay. So what kind of problem is this? It's an x to the what? It's an x to the third. All right. So for my end behavior, right? If we have an x to the third, as x goes to infinity, remember x cubed, what's the y go to? Infinity. As x goes to negative infinity, what's the y go to? Negative infinity. Okay, so this is like your normal one. Nothing weird is happening. As we go to infinity, the graph is going up. As we go to negative infinity, the graph is coming down. And then we're going up to 175, so we're going up pretty high. Make it go up pretty high. And then this one's not, if this is 175, this should not go very low. So make it nice and low, like that. Okay. And we're done. All right, last thing. It's good to put these points in. 6, -11, 0, 175. It helps with figuring out your increasing, decreasing. I'm noticing some people having trouble with that. So, where's my highlighter? Ugh, I'm a mess right now. Someone stole my yellow highlighter. Oh, I found it. Just kidding. So, I like to highlight my increasing. So, let's highlight it. It helps with figuring out increasing, decreasing, right? Where we're going up, left to right. All right, so I'm going to write it up here. Increasing. Where is this thing increasing? Where is it yellow? So left is negative infinity, arrow is infinity, and it stops increasing at 0. And then it stops now it's decreasing, and then it starts increasing again at 6. And it never stops to infinity. Okay? So that's increasing. I'm sorry you can't see that. There we go. And then decreasing everywhere else. Where is it not yellow? From 0 to 6, if we're sitting, we're going downhill. So 0 to 6. And we're done. Right? That wasn't that much harder. We just had to go through the factoring. Okay? All right, let's do the next one. Number 2. So this is going to be a different type now. Okay, number 2. Let's call it p of x again. P of x equals x to the 4th minus 3x to the 3rd minus 10x squared. Okay, so this is a different type. So how do you factor this? What do you see everywhere? In x squared. We can do a GCF here. So I'm going to divide everything by x squared. Right? And you're left with x squared minus 3x minus 10. Now, do you know how to factor that? Yeah, that's a straight up multiply combine chart. You can do it in your head if you want. It's x minus 5, x plus 2. And we're done.